you had someone like Trish Stratus. That was proving ground for Trish, who had come in and been kind of like booked like a model in the beginning. And, for her to have these competitive matches with Molly and Victoria and Jazz and Lita, then, we saw the perception change, and that has led to the group that we have today.
Well, what a time it was when you came through, because when you first hit OVW there, it was still the old style. But so you saw it firsthand how it just rapidly once Fit had that nod to push the envelope a little bit. He pushed it until it was tipping off the table, and you women took advantage of it and rode with it, and you got it where it needed to be there.
So Jerry, did Fit have the nod, or did Fit just do it?
Fit just did it, but he also had to have the nod. The Fit did back down, and I always respected Fit for his belief in what he saw that we could turn this thing into, and with the talent of the ladies out there, he was able to roll with it. And you guys, if you guys hadn't been delivered, Fit would not have had all those liberties. So that's the bottom line.
Well, that's the thing. And I think the other thing to mention is like they Fit put in the time to the women. He'd come early. If we're working live events and Fit was an agent with us, and that goes for all of our agents. Dean Malenko, William Regal would physically get in the ring with us, especially women that were kind of put in like the toughest position, which is you're going to start on TV and then learn how to wrestle. I think about Candice Michelle, who came in again as a model in our business and literally learned on the road to wrestle. That I can't think of a more nightmare scenario than being put in live TV matches and having to like figure it out as you go. And, what I think people didn't see, because it was on live events and not televised, and it doesn't live, in infamy, is that there was a lot of hours put in before live event shows. The girls were always there wanting to learn. And we had men like Fit and William Regal and Dean Malenko that were there putting in the time with us. And if we showed an eager attitude and interest, then they were there to answer that. And I thought, what a great thing we're creating. But you could see it would take time. It would take years to also educate our audience that the girls' match is not going to just be a 90-second throwaway, that it's going to tell a story, and you're going to have time to feel empathy for somebody selling, and you're going to have time, to get excited when somebody fires up, because once the product was investing more in the women, then the audience could see that, and they, it just feeds one another.
Yeah, and that's why I thought Trish and Lita were so important. I think it's one of the most important matches in women's history, because I think the women movement would have happened, but if they hadn't delivered, it would have been delayed 5-10 years. When you talk about you guys delivered, you guys were the right people to deliver at the right time, because if you guys hadn't delivered, I think it still happens, but it's delayed significantly. Yeah.
Well, and the problem is, if we're demanding this, we want this platform, we want this stage, right, we want more. If we go out there and I don't want to curse, but ish the bed, then it's harder to get another opportunity, and it kind of denies the opportunity to others. So there was a lot of pressure on, for example, like Trish and Lita in that moment, because they know the women's division is standing on their shoulders in that moment, like the future. And like you said, the progression, and are they going to give the women one more chance? And are they going to get the chance then to pay it forward to the next generation? Does all of that happen as quickly if that match wasn't as fabulous and remembered as it was? So we all knew that. We all felt that pressure each time we went out there to deliver, because we were asking for it. We wanted it. So, there was no option to fail. We could not fail.